Greetings once again, all you pirates out there. Duuz-Diz-Din, back once again with more One Piece. Previously, the fight between Luffy and Rob Lucci is underway. The rematch of the century! And while Luffy is obviously a little bit too much to handle for Rob Lucci, defeating Luffy is not his goal. It's the assassination of Vegapunk. Although, Lucci isn't one to put down getting a few hits in on the rubberman who defeated him previously, much to the dismay of his colleague. Not to mention, Sakazuki expressly did not want Lucci to engage. Luffy is an emperor now. It takes a little bit more higher approval to engage with someone of Luffy's standing. Words I'd never thought I'd hear. We also had Vegapunk waxing poetically about the nature of devil fruit, unnatural creations made from the minds of those who wish to reach a higher plane of existence, even outing Luffy's abilities as those of the Nika fruit, or akin to the sun god Nika. He doesn't outright call it the human fruit model Nika. We also have the arrival of Sentomaru, along with S-Hawk, S-Snake, and S-Shark, the Mihawk, Hancock, and Jinbei Seraphim. He even managed to get the S-Bear, the Kuma Seraphim, to attack the CP0 agents, but Rob Lucci, knowing the hierarchy of those that the Seraphim will listen to, takes out Sentomaru, meaning that CP0 is in control of the Seraphim as well. The tide has turned yet again. Can Luffy take down the Catman in time to save Vegapunk? Or will Vegapunk's request to leave the island be in a body bag? 7 body bags to be exact. Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, One Piece, Chapter 1070, The Strongest Form of Humanity. And we see, it's a young version of Mads. Oh, wow. It's funny, they look like a bunch of punks. Okay. A young Vegapunk, Judge, Caesar, and I'm guessing that's Queen. Whoa, skinny Queen, that's wild. And who's the girl up front with them? Could it possibly be Stussy? Maybe it's Kureha. I've had a theory that maybe Kureha... No, that would have been too long ago. I had a theory that Kureha was, somehow related to Vegapunk in some way. Maybe they worked together, but nah. She would have still been old at that point. Maybe it is Stussy. I don't know. But the way she's front and center, definitely a part of Mad. It's Gemma 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 27. Promising scientists brought together for the sake of mankind and the world. More specifically, money. Lucci has managed to take down Sentomaru as Luffy goes rushing over saying, "Hey, Axe Boy!" And his eyes pop out saying, "Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you." Sentomaru, lying face down in a pool of his own blood, says, "Idiot, I'm not that careless. I noticed him and blocked it." I thought. And you see Sentomaru using that blocking haki to fend off Rob Lucci's attack. But somehow Rob Lucci broke through his guard. I'm glad to see that Sentomaru wasn't that unskilled. Lucci says, "You're very stubborn. I need you to go unconscious, giving your superior position on the authority hierarchy. As long as you're conscious, we cannot control the Seraphim." And Rob Lucci rears back for another attack. Sentomaru tries to use his haki to guard yet again, only for Luffy's foot, his hokied up foot, to just come smacking into Rob Lucci's face as Luffy uses Gum Dawn Whip, twirling up his body and just spinning around so that the kick will just knock Rob Lucci back. Luffy's just spinning around like the Tasmanian devil saying, "Whoa, I can't stop!" While Stussy and Kaku call out for Lucci. Meanwhile, Chopper and Jinbei are still running away with Bonnie and Atlas. Jinbei saying, "Hurry, Luffy! If we want to save her, we need to take her to Vegapunk now!" While Luffy is still spinning, saying, "I can't stop, I'm spinning too hard." Luffy's spinning so much he starts drilling into the ground, with Chopper saying, "Luffy, where are you going?" The scientists are still running away, saying, "Evacuate the factory!" But we see the Seraphim are on the attack. The S-Hawk Seraphim is slashing through the CP's agents, the government agents I should say, like a hot knife through butter. the S-Shark Jinbei Seraphim is being riddled with bullets, but they're all just bouncing off of his skin as he uses his ability to just like create ripples on the ground, bowling over the agent. Kaku calls out, "Those Seraphim sure aren't holding back. All this infighting is only hurting our bottom line." Stussy says, "And they're still only children. That's an ominous sign." Ooh, okay. So the Seraphim still have a potential to grow even stronger as they age. Damn. Oh, people were saying this before. Frankie says, "Those powers, Vegapunk, the power that little brat version of Jinbei had, those were from the swim fruit, right? The powers belong to my brother from another mother in the Don Quixote family, Senor Pink. And the same fruit can't exist twice. Does that mean he's dead?" So many people were commenting on this, but it's just like, no, Vegapunk has the ability to replicate powers. We see Edison coming in to go and join the main Stella Vegapunk body as well as Pythagoras. Pythagoras says, "So you notice? No, he is currently a prisoner and impaled down." Frankie says, "Huh? Does that mean you made the same devil fruit?" Vegapunk says, "Only Zoan-type devil fruits can be produced artificially. If we rule out Caesar's smile aberrations," with Nami saying, "Which you should, he deserves to die." She, like, that is a hate that runs deep. Never gonna forgive that guy for turning kids into what he did. Man, people thought that he was gonna join the Straw Hats. It's just like, no, Nami hates him a little too much for that to happen. Vegapunk says, "Virtually all fruits of that type, even the special ones, can probably be recreated with a vast amount of money and time, though I haven't confirmed if they can awaken. I tried everything I could think of with Logias, but they proved too difficult." Yeah, he can only replicate it in terms of like attack powers, like the Pacifist's laser beams. That's the closest he can get. Vegapunk then tells them, "For Paramethea types, however, I found that as long as you have the user's bloodline element, you can synthesize and administer a special kind of blood to confer those powers to others." So essentially he extracted Senor Pink's DNA and applied it to Jinbei. "That is the liquid running through their arms. Green blood." Jinbei says, "You made your own blood?" That's funny because if you watch the Morbius movie, Morbius created that blue blood, the synthetic blood. People are gonna have comments to say about this, because you see the S-Snake Seraphim, the Boa Hancock one, using the Love Mellow, turning the people to stone with hard eyes. Here comes the people saying, government agents are pedophiles. And it could be that they just find her cute. Oh no. We even see the S-Bear Seraphim using the Ursa shock to just blast the agent. Vegapunk goes on to say, "The Seraphim represent the highest echelon of science conceivable. In all the history of the sea, they are the strongest form of humanity." And they're genetically modified super soldiers, yeah, basically. Nami says, "And that's why they scrapped the 7 warlords?" And while Frankie's enamored, Usopp says, "Why did you have to make them, man?" As Usopp freaks out. Sanji says, "So they were designed to be weapons for the Navy?" Robin adds, "Yes, to be a threat to us." Oh man, we even see back with Rob Lucci, you see that he was kicked into a building and he made a little Rob Lucci sized hole that he gets out of, and he just like cracks his neck a little. Some of the scientists call out, "He's still standing? Run, Sentomaru!" As Rob Lucci smiles a sinister smile at Sentomaru, and as he goes in on Sentomaru using shave, once again, Sentomaru notices him. So it's just like, no, Sentomaru sees him coming, but it's just, he tries to go in for another block. But before he can get close enough, Luffy comes bursting out of the ground, having gigantified either himself or just his head. And he's just looming over Rob Lucci with his giant head. It looks like he's about to try to eat him. God, Luffy has turned into a terrifying anomaly. He's literally just gained the powers of the mask, almost. Yeah, no, I think he gigantified himself. Lucci sees him saying "Straw Hat" and manages to avoid being literally eaten. Luffy trying to eat the pussy. Luffy manages to get nothing but rocks in his mouth, but then he starts chewing it up and just squeezing his cheeks and firing out the rocks like bullets at Rob Lucci. Literal cartoon powers. Lucci's just like, they're rocks, hockeys up his fist and just starts smashing the rocks. Luffy then bounces back and uses one of the transportation tubes like a rope from like a wrestling match. Bends back. He takes his hair, turns it into goggles, and goes rocketing towards Rob Lucci. Lucci sees it coming, but he can't avoid it, and Luffy uses Gum Gum Dawn Rocket, hitting Rob Lucci with one of those attacks Luffy used on Kaido before, where the hit just stretches through Rob Lucci's body. But we know those hits are pretty hard when they connect. Yup, Lucci even thinks to himself, where is he getting so much force? And as Luffy's laughing up a storm as he sends Rob Lucci just crashing into the ground, Lucci thinks to himself, I feel my mind slipping away from me. Yeah, so Lucci got friggin' rocked. Lucci will put up a good fight, all things considered, but as I said before, it's like, if his goal was simply just to damage other people, he might have had a hand up on it. But it's like, nah, trying to fight Luffy. He was going for Sentomaru, though. He tried the smarter approach. Luffy was just a little too wily for him. We see Chopper and Jinbei still making their way, as the S-Snake Seraphim actually speaks to them. I did not know the Seraphim could talk. It's actually kind of weird, because they've said nothing up until now. But the S-Snake Seraphim says, this way, hurry. That's the vacuum rocket. Get on. Jinbei then smiles at her and says, thank you. You're a much nicer Hancock. The S-Snake Seraphim starts blushing and says, insolence. I'm only following my orders, nothing more. Aw, she's adorable. An announcement then says, launching in 1 minute, as they make their way to the rocket or whatever. Chopper calls out, hey Luffy, hurry up! The announcement then says, please refrain from rushing the vehicle while doors are closing. Sentomaru calls out to Luffy saying, Straw Hat, punk's in your hands now. Luffy tells him, got it, don't worry, we'll take him off this island. The announcement then says, now launching, as everyone's managed to board. Chopper and Jinbei are just like holding on it for dear life as they're pushed back. As Chopper says, it's so fast! Jinbei says, this is incredible! Bonnie finally wakes up saying, where am I? Where's Vegapunk? I think Jinbei says, you woke up? We're on the vacuum rocket now. Jinbei looks over next to her and sees a shriveled up Luffy saying, who are you? Jinbei tells her, it's just Luffy. We can explain why later. Yeah, that tube is just going all over. It's like the tubes from Futurama. An announcement comes over the comm saying, Fabrio phase to the Labro phase. Travel time, 32 seconds. We then cut to inside the lab, as the announcement says, destination reached. All subsequent trips have been cancelled. Everyone inside the rocket says, that was fast! The announcement then comes over the speaker saying, Egghead Labo phase strengthened Frontier Dome. Danger, beware of intruders. All research staff evacuate to Fabrio phase and lock down the factory. Yeah, everyone's just huddled together and hiding. We then cut back down to the ground floor where Kaku says, you should be proud. As Vegapunk's bodyguard, you had a duty and you fulfilled it admirably. It's a shame it had to come to this, Sentomaru. And Sentomaru's just down for the count. Stussy says, we're supposed to wait for the Navy. But Rob Lucci, who just has a simple bandage over his face, says they're going to escape if we wait any longer. I don't think that much time has passed, so, Rob Lucci looked like he was pretty much knocked out, but now he's just like back up and ready to go. It's just like, damn, dude, you barely look like you even got into a fight. We then cut to at the lab, where I don't know who's talking, maybe Usopp, saying, are they really trying to kill you? You have the greatest brain in the world, right? That's a huge loss to the government. Vegapunk says, and what if you thought the greatest brain in the world was about to oppose you? Not that I intend to do any such thing. Nami then says, that's a good point. He'd be a thorn in my side. Ice him. Jeez, Nami. And she does the whole, killing motion. And Usopp says, don't do that. Vegapunk says, so given those circumstances, It must be fate that brought an emperor's crew here. Jinbei says, oh no, it's Usopp who says, excitedly, you're gonna ride on our ship? Nami says, what? He's dead weight. Frankie's excited, saying, that'd be amazing. Take a look at the General, Frankie. Check out the Sunny. Ooh, maybe he'll trick out the Sunny even more. While Sanji's pissed, saying, hey, at least take these shackles off. Show some respect. Meanwhile, with Luffy and the others, he's looking around saying, wow, what is this place? Looks like they got Atlas to some help, as some scientists say, oh no, we must heal and repair Atlas at once. Jinbei saying, I appreciate it. While Bonnie's going off, Chopper says, Bonnie, where are you going? Bonnie turns back to him saying, I demand Vegapunk put my father back to normal. If his response was to unleash swarms of bugs on me, then he must die. With Chopper saying, I don't think that was his fault. We then see that CP0 has managed to get the Seraphim under their control. And I think Kaku is sitting on Sentomaru's downed body? I think that's what I'm seeing, I'm not sure. And Kaku's and Rob Lucci's dishing out orders saying, block all the escape routes from the island. The agents say, yes sir. He then says 6 more left, including the main body. Watch out, that defense system's a real... Oh no, Kaku says, watch out, that defense system's a real humdinger. Lucci says, nothing escapes this island. Not even a single ant. And here we see it. A marine vessel is approaching Egghead. Several marine vessels are approaching Egghead, with none other than Kizaru talking in a Denden Muchi saying, ooh, the Straw Hat crew is siding with Vegapunk? Then escape should be easy for him. But he may find that events don't play out like he'd imagined. We proceed as planned. Send every battleship you can to Egghead. Oh snap, are they gonna raise Egghead to the ground? Bruh, this was pretty good stuff though. And seriously, Rob Lucci, he barely looks like he was even just in a fight. So I don't really know what's going on here. But it doesn't seem like he'll be able to stop Luffy either, cause Luffy easily had the upper hand on him. But again, like I've been saying, that's not the objective. It's all about taking down Vegapunk. And now that they have the Seraphim under their control, I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, these are some high powerful enemies, but we have some heavy hitters with the Straw Hats. It's not just half the crew, it's the entirety of the crew. So on the one hand, I think the crew has the edge in terms of combat. On the other hand, again, the mission is protect the Vegapunks and get them off the island. That could always go sideways. You know, train killers and assassins, who knows how tenacious they could be in trying to achieve their objective. So we'll see. But what do you think? Will Vegapunk actually make it off of the island, or are his days numbered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but also remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on the next video. But until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye-bye.